I want to discuss the attack that took place in England last night. An individual, a man, a non-Muslim, crashed his vehicle into a crowd of Muslims coming out of a mosque after prayer, crashed his van in there, allegedly said, "I want to kill all Muslims." He was subdued. One man killed, one Muslim killed, others injured. He was subdued by the Muslim crowd. The imam told him, don't kill the guy. Let the police take him. I condemn that attack categorically and clearly, just as I condemn the attacks of Muslims on other Muslims and Muslims on non-Muslims. So it is heinous, it is ugly, it is deplorable in every way. What strikes me as interesting is the responses to it. And this is what I want to raise as an issue. J.K. Rowling, for example, has already said that right-wing commentators, right-wing media is going to have to be more careful because of what they're saying that is inflammatory towards other Muslims and immigrants. If, in fact, I'm not there in England, but if, in fact, there are commentators who are doing this, who are inflaming things in such a way that someone could be inspired to commit a horrific act like this, then you better believe they need to tone things down and they need to watch their words carefully. Absolutely. In the aftermath of the shooting of Congressman Scalise here in America, media on both sides and political leaders on both sides saying we need to be careful with our rhetoric because it's getting out of hand. Absolutely. And I've sought to be responsible with my speech from day one of writing and being on radio and being a public figure in that regard. So if right-wing commentators are in fact doing that, let them be called to account. May I raise another possibility, though? Could this be in response to one murderous attack after another murderous attack of radical Muslims against children, women, and men, innocent civilians, innocent people in England? Could this man be responding to that? Oh, what he did is wrong and inexcusable. And I commend the Muslims that were there for not stomping him to death, which would have been a logical thing to do. You know, you're inflamed and angry and fearful in the midst of it. And I commend the imam for saying, don't kill him. Let the police take him. Absolutely right and good. But could it be that the culprit here, the problem here, is not so much the right-wing media, but the radical Muslims who have been attacking? And could it be that that's what he is responding to more than anything? And what concerns me is this. You have radical Islamic attack after radical Islamic attack after radical Islamic attack, and no one wants to speak against Islam as a whole that's being Islamophobic, that's being wrong, that's not representing things accurately, and it's just this handful of bad people that are not really Muslims. I mean, that's what we hear over and over and over. And yet one man commits one act, heinous, deplorable, unforgivable. He commits one act. By unforgivable, I mean unjustifiable. He commits one act against Muslims, and now there's all this talk about the right wing and the extremism and how it needs to be combated and Islamophobia and all of this. It seems to be unequal responses to me, and that's what concerns me. By all means, we condemn the act. By all means, if there is inflammatory rhetoric, let people be responsible for their words. People get incited, especially unstable people, and maybe someone that lost a loved one in an attack. It doesn't take much to provoke them. But let's have an equal response. Is that fair? Is that too much to ask?